That would not be good. Not
That's
today.
right, yeah, don't get it before the show. Get all your snacks together before the show starts.
Get the
There you
snacky
go.
snacks going now.
Okay, she finally got her right password in there. So
this stream looks good. We are good to go. So we have wonderful guests here with us today. Can you guys tell us your name, a little bit about what you do?
Okay, my name is Geraldine Sutton Stith. This is my husband Chris, and my family is the reason we're all here today. The Kelly Green Men incident, or Hopkinsville Goblins, whatever you want to call them. This happened to my family, so they're the ones that, poor little things, they went through all of this so we can get here today with what we're doing.
Wow, I did not know that's who you guys were. That's an incredible story.
Yes.
Can you tell, for those who don't know what the story is all about, can you give a little bit of the background on it? What happened at the time?
Well, I'll give you a quick synopsis.
Okay, that'll work.
August 21st, 1955, in the little rural, I can't even say the word, rural community of Kelly, Kentucky. This little farming family had an event happen. They were visited by little beings, and it was my grandmother and several aunts and uncles, my dad and his wife at the time, and his friends Billy Ray and June Taylor. And it was 11 people in the house that night that did this. 3 of those were children. They were 12, 10, and 7. So, it was quite an event because these little beings don't know what they were, still don't know what they were to this day. Came up to the windows and doors, staring in at them, put their little arms up in the air, and they didn't know what they were, so they shot at them.
And they didn't feel fear?
They didn't seem to feel any kind of fear. They would keep coming back. Of course, these are country boys, and my Uncle JC was a Korean War vet, so they were hitting these beings.
Yeah.
I mean, it was obvious because I could even hear them hitting them. And, but they would just roll away, go off for a minute, then they'd come back. And so this went on for hours and hours. And finally, they were able to jump in the trucks and run to Hopkinsville, which is about 5 miles from where they lived, to get help from the police station, which there was only one little officer on duty because this is 1955. But anyway, he calls in the cavalry, and he gets the chief, Russell Greenwell, there, and he gets some of the military from Fort Campbell Army Base, which is down the road. He gets some of them there. There are people from the paper that come. So there's about 25 people that end up going out to Kelly that night and investigating, trying to find these little beings. Well, when they got there, there were no little beings. There was no bodies or blood or anything showing that they had shot at these little beings. So about after 2 hours of searching, they left my grandmother and all of them there. And lo and behold, the little beings came back. So they started shooting at them again, and this continued on until daylight. And so then you had the invasion of the people where they started coming in because word got out quick, believe me. So people were coming and camping in the yard and setting up tables and, just taking over the place. Yeah. And it was a crazy time. And my grandmother didn't know what to do. And so it was a farm, it was a small farm. And so she decided to sell it within 2 weeks. Wow. She moved to Hopkinsville to an apartment complex with her and the 3 kids. And my dad and Billy Ray and the girls left and went back to work. And that's what happened. I mean, it's an incredible story. There's a whole lot more to it. There was a lot seen that day, a lot seen that night, a lot heard. And, the military came.
Yes.
Exactly. The military came and searched the area. They were flying above. It was a whole thing. So a lot of people don't realize how deep it got. It got deep.
So was this just a one day that it happened, or was it over some time at all?
No, it happened during the night on August 21st into the 22nd.
Okay.
And people asked me, did they come back? Well, as far as I know, they didn't. But the people around there in Kelly and my family, they were ridiculed so bad. Uncle JC said that if he ever saw them again, he would never say a word because this ruined their lives. It really did. Because people ridiculed them. They couldn't go anywhere. He couldn't keep a job because every time he would get a job, they'd find out who he was and they would give him down the road a hard time, so he'd quit, find another job, same thing would happen. So this continued the rest of his life, and it ruined it.
Yeah.
When you have something like this happen to you, people don't realize what it can do to you. You don't realize these little beings were scary. You know, they may have been cutesy to us today, but back then when this happened, it was terrifying. They didn't know what these beings were, or what they wanted, or why were they there. So, you know, you've got a little family that my grandmother was really religious, and they didn't know what they were, and you know, their thought wasn't they were from outer space. You know, her thought was it was something the devil had brought forth, and they were some kind of goblin or demon, and that's why they were called goblins. And so, you know, their lives were just how it was.
Yeah. Now, I know when I heard the story, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I very well could be wrong, there was some type of crash that happened, or that was perceived to have happened in the area, and maybe they came from a cave that was nearby.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on over the years. We do believe there was a crash, because I've had somebody come and tell me that they had an uncle that came to him. Well, he was on his deathbed, and he had to tell somebody, because you know, the military, you know, they see and hear things. They're not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's just part of their job. And on his deathbed, he told him that it did crash, and it crashed 3 miles down the road. And so if you look up reports and if you do your research, you will find out that something was packed away, taken to Fort Campbell, and then Wright-Patterson Air Force Base came and picked it up and took it away.
So there was something to it.
So, you know, there was something going on. So, you know, and as far as the caves are concerned, that started with the whole Hillier thing.
Yeah.
Greg and Dana, Greg came and talked to me back years and years ago about it, and he wanted to know if there were caves. He came down to Kelly. We got together, you know, and all that stuff. And yes, there's caves. Kentucky's full of caves.
Yeah.
Could they be in caves now? Could be. Who knows? The little beings could have left some of them. We don't know. And they could have lived in the caves and continued. We don't know.
Yeah.
But, you know, with other things being cited, like the Hillier case and all that, it's just fun to think that they could still be here, you know.
It is, and we are far enough away from the original place that it's easier for us to embrace the culture of it now.
Oh yeah.
And there's so much more out there now, you know, too. And my heart goes out to your family for having to have gone through that, because you're right. If your grandmother was religious, this absolutely would be devastating to her.
Yes.
Not only on a personal level, but on a religious conviction level.
Because she felt like, had she done something wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, why were these little beings, of all the people that they could have went to in Kelly or even Hopkinsville, why was it that little farmhouse?
Yeah.
You know, and you got to think about that.
Targeted.
You know, why were they targeted? She'd went to church that night. It was a Sunday night. She'd went to church and got back to church. So, you know, of course, she's thinking, what have I done wrong?
Yeah.
You know, and so, yeah, it was a strain. It was a strain on the whole thing.
Man.
Did they think it was? Did they really think it was a demon that they were seeing?
At the time,
Okay.
until
Was
you
there just the
know,
two?
that things were brought forth, like people had seen lights, they had seen, you know, heard the sounds. In fact, there at Fort Campbell Army Base, there were soldiers outside when they seen something fly over the sky. I mean, we're talking about soldiers here, and they didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
There was a state trooper that was right there in Kelly at a little cafe that was there in Kelly at the time. He was sitting there not doing anything, and he seen it go over. And there were several other people that seen lights that night. There was a neighbor in the farm behind my grandmother's farm. He seen lights in the woods.
Wow.
And he thought it was them out there with flashlights and thought some of the animals had gotten out.
Yeah.
So he was getting his boots on, grabbing the flashlight, getting ready to come out and help them. And just as he was getting out the door, gunshots started. So he knew better. He went back in because he didn't want to get out and get shot.
Right, exactly.
And you think about the neighbors hearing and seeing all this. Well, they were all afraid to come out of their houses because they were hearing this. They were hearing the gunshots and the hollers, and I'm sure cussing of all kinds.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You know, and they were all afraid to come out because they didn't want to get shot. I mean, pure and simple. So, you know, the next morning, my uncle, my dad set everybody down and told them, says, listen, no good can come of this story because I heard them last night. All these people that were out here were laughing at us.
Yeah.
And so he told them, he says, forget it. Don't say a word about it. We're going to just go on with our lives. So that morning he said, let's just go ahead and do what we were going to do. And my uncle JC was going to go hunting with the neighbor behind them. So he went back there and met up with him to go hunting. And the guy asked him, what was going on last night? I seen lights out in the woods. I was going to come help you get your animals. Well, no, you know, and he didn't know whether to tell him or not because my dad had told him, says, listen, don't say anything. But he went ahead and told him what happened. And his friend was like, okay.
Yeah, okay, you lost your noodle.
You know, and that's how it was,
Yeah.
you know. But the friend seen the lights in the woods. So, you
There's
know.
a little bit of cooperation there for that. I'm sure he's really glad his friend saw those lights.
Oh,
too,
I'm sure
you know.
because and the people that lived in Kelly that lived right there, they knew something happened because, like I said, they was hearing everything,
Yeah.
and seeing lights. In fact, that morning, one of the neighbors actually seen a light of some kind come up and take off. So, you know, you've got these people around here that were seeing and hearing all this, and they were terrified because they didn't know what these things were.
Yeah.
Would they come back?
Yeah.
If they did come
scary.
back,
Yeah.
what did they want in the first place?
Yeah.
So, you know, people in Kelly were afraid.
Oh, I can't even begin to imagine how afraid they were because you've got these beings that you're shooting at and it's not affecting them whatsoever.
Exactly.
You know,
And that was
how are
scary.
you going to protect your family? from
Exactly.
that?
And that was my dad's first thought. You know, this is my mom.
Yeah.
This is my little brothers and sister here.
Yep.
You know, first thing, country boy, you're going to protect what you have there, you know, your family. And that's what they were doing. You know, 20 gauge, 12 gauge shotgun and a 22 rifle, you know, was going to do some damage, but it was not doing any damage. So it was a scary situation.
It absolutely
Did they
is.
voluntarily keep it quiet for a while, or were they
I don't think they even had a
Oh.
chance to, did they?
told to keep it quiet?
They tried to keep it quiet. Now, the military and all that, they just shoved it under the rug and tried to forget about it. Project Blue Book tried to forget about it. They just wanted it gone. Well, I wonder why.
Yeah.
And, but, you know, people would come out, try to talk to the family. Of course, they didn't want to talk to anybody. My grandmother, she finally did talk to Isabel Davis. And Isabel Davis is one of the greatest people that could have come along because she was able to put everything together and did drawings and everything. And but she was the only person that really talked to was Isabel. And it took her a couple of days to get her to talk to her. She finally earned her trust. But no, I mean, people would come to my dad and contact him and want to talk about the story. And he'd, no, I'm not talking about it. No, I'm not bringing it back.
Yeah.
And you could see the fear, you know, just come over him when it would come up. He did not want to bring the goblins back up.
And you know that was a thing at the time, and it still is today, manifestation kind of thing. You know, if you focus on something, you're going to bring it into your life. So, yeah, you don't want to. Well, you know what I mean.
They probably didn't understand that back then.
Yeah.
But, you know, today we know more.
Exactly. Yeah. So I could see how they wouldn't want to,
Right.
have anything with it. But I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Were there three-toed footprints and things that were found around the house? Or
No.
am I missing stories?
No,
of?
I've
I
never
may
heard
be.
that. You know,
Okay.
they did search. It was a dry, hot August, and there was dust and stuff. But they didn't search like they should have. That was another thing, too. Proper protocol was never taken with this case.
Yeah.
And, of course, the next morning, you had people from everywhere coming and just traipsing all over the place. They were actually walking through the house and taking souvenirs, taking stuff out of the yard. It was estimated, I have researched, and it was estimated there was over 2,000 people there that Tuesday.
So they decimated
roaming the
anything.
ground. So, they weren't going to find anything.
No.
Now it was said, witnesses say that when the military was there, they did a grid search, and they said one of the soldiers, found something, stuffed it under his shirt, ran to a truck, and put it in the back, and the truck took off. Now, I don't know. We'll never know what it was, if it was.
Oh, yeah, it'll never surface, probably. Wow.
It's just like any other UFO cover up. It's going to be covered up somehow.
Yeah, for sure. And you're right. It's wild to see the complete circle that it's come back, and it's brought so much to the community at this point, as opposed to having been such a blight. I mean, it's kind of what it was, because it brought so much unlimited
attention. The hotels are embracing it.
Right.
Convenience stores are embracing it.
Well, they can see what can be done with it. I mean, I said a long time ago, if they would take this and do it right, this could be bigger than Roswell ever was.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, we've been to Roswell, we've seen that, and we can do so much better.
Yeah. So that leads me to an interesting question then, with the fact that you've grown up with this, your entire life. How has it affected you? How has it affected your outlook on the paranormal and, aliens, UFOs, UAPs?
Well, I was 8 years old when I found this out, because our parents kept this hid from us, and we found out by chance. And when I found out about it, of course, I was terrified, because I was 8 years old. 8 years old, and all my life, nighttime is scary. When I was little and found this out, I'd go around and shut all the doors and shades and windows and stuff, because I was afraid these things were going to come back and look in at us.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was a kid. And I've been that way all my life until, I got older. Now that I'm older, it's different. I don't care. Just let the window be. If it comes up, it comes up. But it's still a scary thought. Even at night now, I'll look at the lights and stuff in the sky, because you don't know what's out there.
Yeah, none of us do. Yeah.
So it's been scary. When it comes to alien stuff, I really, it's scary to me.
It is. It's fear of the unknown.
It is. I don't like really scary alien movies and stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's some out there, too.
I remember when the movie Alien first came out in the 70s, I didn't want to go to the theater and see it because it was terrifying to me.
It's too real.
I finally broke down and went and seen it, and then, oh my God, if there are aliens out there like that, we're in trouble.
Right.
But, the alien stuff really scares me. And so, you got all these people around me that do all this research, and like yesterday on the panel discussion, I had a guy on each side that's really, over my head stuff. And I'm like, I'm just a little country girl that's got a story. And, I'm not really into this whole thing because it terrifies me.
Yeah.
I don't want them to come back. I've had people ask me, do you think they'll come back? Do you think they'll come see you? And I said, well, I sure hope not.
Right.
Because I don't want them to come see me. Stay away.
Yeah. You got your shields up. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Now this happened back in you said 55, right?
Yes.
Has there been any other types of activity that people have witnessed since that time?
I don't know.
That would be 71 years ago.
71 years. I don't know, but going back, probably if they did, they'd probably stay quiet because they're afraid to say anything. And the community of Kelly, it's a small community. It's still small today. I think they'd be afraid to say anything because they don't want that attention.
Yeah, and they saw firsthand the aftermath of it.
Yeah, they don't want that attention.
Absolutely.
They don't want anything to do with it. And so, if it were to happen, I don't think anybody would say anything. And a lot of people today do not say anything. They take it for granted, like seeing the lights in the sky, and you don't know what that is, but it's something different. I've seen lights in the sky that I know it's different. It's not our stuff. But people are afraid to say anything because they don't want to be laughed at, and we still have that today, and it'll continue to happen.
We do.
Plus, they don't want to believe it. There's a lot of people that don't want to believe that we have other things out here other than us. We are it,
Right.
and that's just ludicrous in itself. But
But at the same time, it's amazing that even though they're afraid to talk about, a lot of people are afraid to talk about it, that it's fully embraced here at this conference. You know, matter of fact, there was even was it the mayor that did
Yes, we have a proclamation
yesterday,
Yes,
proclaiming that this is great
This is
stuff.
real,
And
yes,
is it
yes.
just for tourism now, or is it really? Do people really embrace it and because it's part of their history?
That's the thing. When you have conventions like this, we've been to a lot of conventions. When you go to these, you have the like-minded people.
Yeah.
This is where you're going to have the people that you get along with, that believe in what you believe in, like what you like. You know, there's a lot of people out here that is shunning this. You know,
Oh, for sure.
They don't want it. They don't believe in it. But then you have people like us and everybody in here right now that believes in this and the paranormal and all that stuff.
There's
So-
a huge interest in it for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there is
So
now.
I should not
We
walk
have a
outside
friend-
with my silver hat.
Maybe
on, right?
not. We have
Oh,
a
I
friend.
wouldn't worry about it.
He's a cryptid guy, and his name's Brian Terrell, and he has a theory that we call the Brian Terrell effect. And where we're from, it's a very small community as well, and very tight-lipped. When you see something weird, you just don't talk about it because
Exactly.
you don't want people in your business,
Right.
kind of thing, you know. And so his theory is for every one report that actually surfaces, there's probably 100 more that nobody's talking about.
Right.
And when you look at it that way, that makes a lot of sense because as it becomes more mainstream, we're learning of more stories that not only historical but recent too. That they really truly there is something going on. You know,
Right.
your family unfortunately had the spotlight on it
Right.
in not a good way for a long
Right.
time. So yeah, it fascinates me to no end.
And another thing too, if you live around a military base, a lot of people are going to say that's them doing this.
Yeah.
Like Fort Campbell is here. Where we live at, we have Fort Knox.
Oh yeah.
And so you got these military bases because we're on we're both on a couple of Facebook pages there in our community. And there's been many a time a person has video a light in the sky they can't describe and ask, is this from Fort Knox?
Yeah.
You know, so I think a lot of people take it for granted when they see something, oh, that's just Fort Knox.
Oh,
Oh,
for
that's
sure.
just Fort Campbell. You know, oh, that's Wright Patterson, you know, wherever
Yep.
they're at, you know, and we take that for granted. And we do that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a question. Do you think with the new disclosures that have been coming out from the government, do you think that's going to change maybe some opinions in the area?
Oh, yeah, it
Do you
will.
think it'll become more,
Yeah.
start to become
Oh,
more
yeah.
mainstream where they may come forth with more information
It
or at least
will.
tidbits?
But I think it's going to be slow. You know, it's not going to be like this quick reaction. I think people are going to have to really take it in and maybe, that type of situation. And then you've got the people, I was talking to somebody yesterday and I said, you've got some people that they're not going to believe it until an alien is sitting in their lap.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's people like
So,
that,
you
for sure.
know, they're going to think it's all made up. It's AI. It's, all that stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
they bring forward, all these videos and stuff that are coming out now. A lot of people think that's probably
New
made up in
conspiracy
AI
theories.
and
Yeah.
conspiracies.
Yeah, that is kind of a detriment to the whole research of the situation with the AI movement.
Yeah, the lazy ones that don't do it. And then you
Yeah,
got the
and you
ones that-
it's hard to look at
There
anything
are people
from
like that out there?
2020 on and not be like, okay, that's got to be
You
AI.
second guess
kind
it.
of thing.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
yes.
It's too easy to second guess. At this point.
Exactly.
So we do a lot of research. I depend on some of the older stuff for sure. Got a lot of the older things that we draw on. So yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah. So out of
Exciting
everything,
stuff.
do you guys have any questions for me?
I've interjected a couple times.
I'm so sorry.
No. Every
This
time
is- this is my thing, man.
This is my key. If I go like this,
Yes,
it's like,
I was
It's
thinking.
You
our
figured it.
thing.
Well, let me also
this was a
add
question,
that,
like, I was putting my hand on her shoulder, but I had a question. But no, this is really, really fascinating.
well, let me also add that
Sure.
because of this story, we get to meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we have become friends with some scientists, and I'm talking theoretical physicists, astrophysicists, those type of people. That
Nice.
this is their job. This is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
and they have to sit back and just play it silent because they're not allowed to just say all this stuff and tell us what's really going on out here. And you would be amazed at what they are learning, but they can't say anything.
Yeah.
You know, people would freak out.
Oh yeah.
They would.
But that's our world.
It is. It is. So, out of everything that we've talked about today, is there anything that you would like to share that we didn't touch on?
I think you got it.
Well, we appreciate this. This
Well,
has been
thank
so
you.
fascinating.
Do they
Yes.
do y'all have a website or anything where people can reach out to you if they would like to, or do you want to keep that silent? Or
I had a website a long time ago and I just got tired of it. So I quit.
You can find her on Facebook.
You can find me on Facebook. I'm easy to find. I have an Etsy shop called Aliens and Goblins. You can get a hold of me on there. I am not hard to find. You can just Google my name and I'll be there. So, you know, it's no big deal.
Cool. Well, I know you talked about Greg and Dana that came out and
Yeah.
visited with you guys. I love those guys.
Oh,
They
yeah,
are
they're great.
terrific
Yeah.
people. I got to show you something because this will crack you up. This is how much I love their stuff. I have a prosthetic leg, and it's
Oh.
got their Haunted Objects Live Tour T-shirt on it.
Oh, my goodness.
It's got a little bit
That's
of everything on
crazy.
there. Isn't that fun?
Wow.
It's like my temporary tattoo. Every time I change a socket, I can change what I have on it.
That's
But
nice.
love those guys. Hung out with them in March a little
I
bit.
wish we could get them here.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
I've tried to get a hold of Greg and I've tried to get a hold of Dana, and I don't know what their problem is, but they won't answer me.
That is crazy. I can't believe they won't.
Yeah, because we used to talk all the time.
Yeah.
Greg used to go back and forth all the time, and now I just can't get him to answer me at all.
maybe because they have
Really?
so many emails coming in or something that's getting lost in
So,
the sauce or something.
Well, no, I contact them through Messenger and
Oh.
Facebook is what I'm doing, and they just will not
Okay,
answer
because
me.
he's kind of got off of Facebook for the majority of stuff.
Oh, has he?
So I have a way that you can contact him that I'll give you when we
Give him a holler and tell him to contact me because
Okay.
I would like to see if we can get them here.
Yeah. Oh, that would be incredible. Holy cow, that would be so cool.
That would be great for next year if we could get them here.
It would.
Because people freak out over Hillier.
Yes.
Everybody knows
yes.
about Hillier.
They are just wrapping up season 3. They've got everything
they?
shot. Carl's at the end of it. They actually got to view it in full just recently, and they're like, it's going to blow everybody's socks off. So cannot
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
It's supposed to.
So, yeah.
They're promising before the end of the year it'll be out.
Okay, so if you can get a hold of him and tell him you can get a hold of me,
Right. Oh,
let's
for
see if we
sure.
can get something together.
Yeah. So exciting. Man, I'm so excited that you guys got to come over and talk.
Well, thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
This has been incredible. And
I'm deaf, so I wasn't able to hear a lot of it, but I'll watch it.
I know.
That's why I didn't ask any questions. I was like,
You didn't want to ask the wrong one.
right, I didn't want to ask the wrong one. I didn't want to ask
a
a
repeat one.
question. So I was just
Yeah.
like, okay.
What we've been trying to do before people leave, we've been trying to get better about getting selfies. Are you guys okay
Okay,
with getting
yes,
selfies with us?
definitely.
Shauna's got the long arms. I got the T-Rex arms. So I always hand the phone off to her.
All right, so we're gonna face this way.
And then, where are you? Which way are you going?
Okay, there we go.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank you.
cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
This
guys.
has been incredible.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I'm going to write
Thank
that down for you. Let me find something. Do you guys have something to write on?
To
So I can
write
get
it
her.
on?
Yeah, Greg's info.
I left my bag in the thing.
No, do you have a phone?
Hang on,
You got a phone with you? You have a phone with you?
No, I didn't even bring my phone. It's over at my table.
Okay, she's going to go grab something real quick that we
Okay.
can write on. I know this. So
Here.
Connor and Carl work with them a lot. And do you have something to actually write on?
Yeah, the back of the card.
Oh, okay. Our cards, are there any with any? Yeah, that's why I'm like, everything's got
There you
stuff
go.
on them. Yeah, can you grab one of those, some of the other cards for them too? Okay, if you go through this right here. Hang on. Let me make sure I get it right. I don't want to give you the wrong one.
Oh, great. Thank you.
But yeah, we all have different podcasts.
Oh, well,
This
goodness
one right here,
gracious.
the Border Town Strange, that's the one that I do.
Okay.
We do the Woo. All 3 of us do this one together. It's Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kansas.
Crimson Crow. I like that.
Crimson Crow, yeah, I'm actually head editor
Oh,
at
man.
Crimson Crow Press. So We got a little bit of everything, and then Shauna's we'll have written on the back of hers. She was
Okay.
exploring the paranormal perspective. Okay.
How you guys doing?
Okay.
Having fun?
Okay.
All right.
Do that. I got another way I can get with him as well. Can you read my handwriting?
Well, I ain't got my glasses, so I can't
Oh.
see. Can you see?
That right there is that.
How about that weird
Weird HQ.
EHQ?
Oh,
headquarters.
HQ, the headquarters.
HQ.
Okay.
Yeah. You may write it out a little bit better.
No, we got
You got it? Okay. Yeah.
He got it.
And I
I
will
see
see what
that
we can
I got
do
my
about
glasses on.
that. We appreciate this so
Well,
much.
thank you.
And if we can ever get you on our podcast, we'd
Okay.
love to do that as
well,
well.
just holler
So
at me.
we'll do.
Just
Yeah,
holler.
I need to find out how to get a hold of you too. So,
What we do is we're from Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma.
but you are on Facebook.
Everybody goes to the East Coast.
Yes, I am on Facebook.
Okay,
Drop
we
in
will do
the
that.
small break.
Oh no!
This
Oh
will be
no!
on YouTube later. I mean, it's live now, but
Yes.
once we stop, it'll automatically remember it out there.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So that's
Yeah,
what we
just
talk about.
I'm on Facebook, so just look me up on
Okay.
there. So just holler and yeah, we'll get together.
Terrific. Oh, thank you so much. It's been so great.
Geraldine,
Yeah.
pleasure meeting you again.
Thank you.
Yes,
I haven't got a
yes.
chance to talk to you guys for a few minutes back there.
Yeah,
I didn't know
for
it was
sure.
that cool though.
That's
So it was even
amazing.
cooler to come back here and sit behind you just listening.
I'm sorry. He volunteers.
Good stuff.
The psychic
You guys take care.
We talk about cold cases and the paranormal investigator on the other side. We get cold cases that we get together on, and he
That
does
was your Geraldine.
That was the Geraldine. That was the Geraldine.
All morning she's like,
very, very interesting.
who am I
so
supposed to
far.
talk to? Geraldine, somebody. I'm like,
I know.
I don't know any Geraldines. Well,
There's-
apparently
I feel like
I
a
did
big
because I
doofus.
talked to these people yesterday,
Holy
like 3 or 4
moly.
times, and then I talked to them again about an hour or so ago, and they said, yeah, I think we can come on over and talk. I'm like, okay. I still didn't know their name
I do too. She
You guys,
until just now.
I'm in shock. I can't believe that I didn't realize when we talked to her earlier, I didn't know who she was. So, and when she sat down and started explaining who she was, I was just like, oh my God. In case you're still on here and you don't know who we just talked to, and I lost her last name.
Me?
Geraldine's.
Geraldine.
What's your last name?
Geraldine.
Okay. Well, we lost her last name. Her
I don't remember.
her family
Geraldine.
is the original family
God.
that experienced the Kelly Hopkinsville goblin incident. It was her dad. He was at the house with his siblings and her grandma. It was her grandmother at her house. So.
Okay, now I'm going to
She
get
had a
another
lot
bite of
of-
my hot dog.
What was
She had a lot
Geraldine's
of
last
really
name?
good information.
What was Geraldine's last name?
Oh,
Yeah,
I just
Sorry,
saw the
guys.
first name. I'm like, oh,
Um,
sweet.
I don't remember.
but yeah, we are.
Here, I'll look
I
it
just
up.
lost my train of thought on that. But
Oh, shoot. They went up my butt. Not literally.
yeah, we got to have a really good conversation with her. She brought forth some really good information, and it was really awesome to get to talk to her. So hopefully, what I'm thinking I might do, should I go ahead and end this particular stream and start a new one so I can break that one off easier? Probably should, huh? So if you guys will hang on for just a moment and get back with us, I'm
I love how she answered her own question.
I'm going to stop this stream, and then I will start another one here in just a few minutes. So thanks for hanging out
Here we
with
go.
us. We'll be right back.
Geraldine Sutton Stiff.
Last name? Stith. S-T-I-T-H. Okay.
There you go.
Put her name in here.
I had a mouthful of food and she's asking me a question. I'm like, she goes off and answers
Okay.
it all.
We have got her in here. So terrific. This has been great. And we will be back.